Hi everyone, good
Hello.
afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar, How to Promote Your Live Shopping Event with Success. I'm Marissa, one of the content creators here at Spree. In the studio, we've got Morten from Let's Go Live. How are you going today, Morten?
Hello, and thank you for having me today.
Of course.
I'm looking so much forward to this.
Excellent. And also joining us via a live stream, we've got Carolina from Wally and Wiz. Hi, Carolina.
Hi.
How are you going this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, we're ready to go. Let's get started. So let's jump to our slides right now, because the first thing we want you guys to do is to tell us, where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. We've had some really very far out destinations. Brazil, I think one time, London. We've had a whole bunch of different places. So please share where you are watching from.
And that's also a great thing to do when you go live.
Yes, we're using our
start
own
the comments field. That's
exactly
one thing we always do.
Yeah, us as well. We did that trick is a pretty good one. Also, if you do have a question, if at any point in time throughout any of the things that we're saying, you have a question, please drop it in the comments, because we have our team of live shopping experts on call to answer anything that you may ask about live shopping or what we're talking about. So let's kick things off and get started with a little bit of a recap. Martin Smedsvik from Norway. Wow. Exciting. Okay, just a reminder about this bootcamp series. We are up to number 4, How to Promote Your Live Shopping Event. We're almost at the end of our newbie to expert scale. Episode number 5 will be coming up later on next month, which is about finding the perfect live shopping host. So that's exciting. But let's look at today and a little bit of an agenda. We're going to be looking at 4 main points today. We're going to be looking at planning. We're going to be looking at channels, so different platforms or channels. We're going to be looking at some visuals, and then we're going to look at some other things. And the idea today is that I'm sort of going to be asking a lot of questions. Morten, who has a background in live shopping with the Let's Go Live crew, will be giving his insights. And then I'll throw some of these questions over to you, Carolina, who can give the kind of viewpoint of a real live shopping customer, Wally and Wiz, who sell sweet. You probably know the brand. It's like sweets and licorice and stuff. So let's get into our very first topic, which is planning. Planning. A lot of people don't like planning, but it is super important. My view, Morten, is first up, why is it so important? People are like, but why? Why must we plan?
Because if you don't plan when to post a live, when to post different types of content on Facebook and Instagram, you'll probably forget. And as a customer, if you're not getting notified all the time about the live, you will forget.
Yeah.
So it's just a way to make sure that you're actually sending out content on different platforms at the right time, making sure to hit your audience so that they know when you're going live.
Because if we are the ones making the content, we don't remember. Imagine our customers. They're definitely not going to remember. So we do have to make a plan. It is super important. What I want to talk about next, though, is like, we understand the why it's important, but what about the how? How do I create a plan? So Morten, and we'll get to Carolina, I'll ask you the same question. What advice do you have for content creators and people who are going live in order to plan their content? What advice do you have for them?
I would always start with the day that you're going live. So set that day. Let's say it's the 21st of March. Okay, then you put that into the calendar. At some point before that, we have to create the event, because the event is the most important thing in the planning. Let's say we do that 10 days before. Great, then you have the space between when you create the event and the actual event.
So you go backwards.
Then you can work backwards. You can say, okay, I want to use Instagram, Facebook, maybe a newsletter, and a few other channels we're coming on later on. But then you know that you're going to use these different channels, and then you can plot in when it fits you and fits the rest of the business, because of course you're doing different types of marketing all the time.
Yeah. What about Carolina? What about Wally and Wiz? How do you create your plans for your promotion of live shopping events? What do you guys do?
Yeah, usually we do the same every time. We plan the event a week before. So we, not the date, but like we create the Facebook event a week before. And then I sit down with the e-commerce manager, David, and then we plan which kind of content we are going to use. So that could be if we want to use paid social media or organic social media. Usually we do some stories and some posts throughout the week to just remind people to tune in and watch our live shopping.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about channels, but maybe you could shed some light on the difference between paid versus organic, and which ones you have found, like what are the differences between them and what you've found to be more successful?
Yes, of course. We have a hugely successful, how to say this, story, I don't know, with the paid usage, because that way we get a lot of new customers in that doesn't follow us right now. We make a lot of content that generate a lot of high engagement, so it not organically will reach out to more people. I hope this makes sense. Yeah.
But
I want to say we also do paid ads for some of our clients, and it is a very important channel. Today, Facebook, the algorithm, as you all know, organic content isn't like working as well as it did once, like a few years ago. So I would say paid advertising is a very key thing to use today. It is indeed.
Yeah, cool. We speaking about planning and organic versus paid and so forth. We're just going to go to the next slide, which actually has an example of, this is a very basic example of a 10-day plan. So what you were saying before, you choose the day that you're going live, and then you kind of go backwards. So on day 1, you'll do this. On day 2, you'll do that. Could you talk us through the idea around these different, the 10 days and the planning that you've got going on here?
In this 10-day playbook, we've chosen only to use Facebook and Instagram. If it's a larger client, of course, we would use more channels. But in this case, we are using these two. We're making sure to post on both channels quite often during these 10 days, both using stories, reels, and posts on Instagram. That's quite important because they all have good things, and also using Facebook stories and posts. But it's just the key to kind of post quite a lot.
There are a few break days there.
We are posting like 5 times during the 10-day on Facebook, and that's just a very important thing. On top of this, which you can't see in this 10-day promotion book, is that you also have to post in the event. That's super important because when people are in the event, then every time you post something in the event, they will get a notification. So that's a way to constantly remind people about this live. You have to do it the days up to the event, but especially on the day, the few hours before. So you constantly remind them about, oh, we're going live in 2 hours.
Nice. If you want to take a better look at this 10-day countdown, you can download our 10-day promotion playbook at spree.io, completely free. So check that out if you want to learn a bit more about that. But let's move on to the next topic today. We sort of almost touched upon it. We're talking about different channels. So first to you, Morten, like what are there channels that are better than others to be promoting on, and why should I be choosing one channel over another?
There's a reason why we made this playbook about around Facebook and Instagram. It's because we're going live on these 2 channels. So of course they are the most important ones. But other than that, I would definitely use a newsletter. Most of you maybe have 5,000-10,000 people on the newsletter. That's a great way to tell people about the live. It could be together with another email you're actually sending out with maybe a promotion code or something like that. Just put it as a banner somewhere in the email. Then also put it on the website a few days before as a banner. There are so many options, but we'll come into that later on.
I think we had a slide with a bunch of different options. We have like email has actually gotten quite popular to be a good way of promoting, but we have Facebook, Instagram. What about like YouTube and LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can use these platforms, but only if you have the capacity to use them. I would definitely focus on Facebook and Instagram. You could post a YouTube video about it, but
I guess it depends on the brand.
Use it.
What about you, Carolina, at Wally and Wiz? What platforms do you use? A variety of platforms? Do you find that some work better than others? What has been your experience with this?
Yeah, right now we use Facebook and Instagram and email marketing, and we have really good experience with the Facebook part of it. I think it's mainly because of our customer base is around 25 to 45, so they're usually on Facebook or otherwise they're on Instagram. And I would say that October of last year, we had a really successful paid campaign where we had a what's it called, a event response that was 1.5 Danish crowns per user. So that's really low as a price to pay. And of course, we strive to get that price again, but I think we just hit a gold mine or something like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So paid has been really successful for us.
Yeah.
I can see a question from Tobias. I guess that's what he's asking about. What the average price is on paid. I would say at the moment we see an average cost per event response on 8 to 12 Danish kroner, so just above €1. But we have had cases where it costs down to, as Caroline says, one Danish kroner, which is insane.
Yeah.
The thing is also, when you see an event price that is that low, you're not going to see the same conversion from event response to actual live viewer.
Okay.
We haven't seen that. So that's it.
Well, I actually don't agree, because we had 800 people going to see it, and we have 1,600 people attending, and that's the typical ratio we have also when we don't have that good of a CPR.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it was a win-win all around.
That was a win-win, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Cool. So I guess the takeaway here is that it is very much dependent on the brand, but Facebook and Instagram are sort of leading the game here. But depending on what brand you have, you can also use these other channels, such as email, like you spoke about email, and also YouTube and LinkedIn, if it makes sense. Okay, cool. Let's go on to a very important aspect of today, which is the visuals. Now, when we talk about visuals, we are talking about all the things that your potential customers see online, or sometimes not online, in order to attend your event. So what we're really talking about here is the crux of promoting your show, the actual bread and butter of promoting your show. I've got two different questions here that I wanted to ask you guys. I wanted to talk to you, Morten, more about best practices, and then I wanted to go over to Carolina and talk a little bit about your real examples, which we will be showing in a bit. But Morten, what are some of the best practices? So by that, I mean, if I know nothing about, if this is my first time going live shopping and I need to create an event, but I have absolutely no idea what the frick I'm doing, what advice can you give to them about creating a visual?
Yeah, so you have to create your live identity. And that's very important. You can do that in a lot of different ways. What we tend to do is we get some people on the cover photo, on the videos, etc. It's super easy to just grab the phone, film a quick video saying we're going live on the 21st with this and that, then tell a bit about the offers, and then at the end say that they can actually click on this button just below, and they will get into the event where they can click going.
We actually have a question here, which was about, do you have to have a unique offer in order to go live and do this event? Like, do you have to have a unique offer?
It works way better if you actually have some unique offers.
So if possible, yes.
Yeah, if possible, yes, I would definitely do it. But of course, you can combine it with different things, like telling more about how to use the products, learn people about the products.
Okay, so you're saying that if you are a beginner, a good idea is to just get in front of the camera and make a video. What is the benefit of doing that?
For a long time, we've seen people creating these high production videos, posting them on Instagram and Facebook as ads. And I think people they've had enough of this now. They want to see the person behind the camera. So by just taking up the phone, make it very authentic, that just works very well for our clients.
So instead of something that's overproduced and highly aesthetically overproduced, it's just better to just get in front of the camera, film yourself, selling your product.
Maybe also because we work with some brands where maybe they don't even have a person, like a front person of the brand. So we try to create that, and that's what the live can do. It can kind of put a person as the main person of the brand.
What about you, Carolina? What do you do at Wally and Wiz? What are some of the visual content that you guys create? We've got some examples, but I just wanted you to talk a little bit first about what you guys do in terms of visual content.
Yeah, it really depends on the campaign. For example, when we did our Black Friday live shopping and for example, tonight we're going to have an Easter live, and we've done a lot more videos for that. And pictures for that. But usually, if it's a smaller live, we just take the banner from our Facebook event and then we crop it so it fits a square, and we use that. I've learned that a lot of brands has a lot of success with using people in it, but our experience is actually the opposite. So usually when it's a smaller campaign, we do that. And for example, for this one, we're doing a video with me in it, and we do that to try to hire the engagement for the what's it called, the campaign.
Yeah, that's so interesting that you talk about that, because we've kind of been seeing the opposite. And in fact, that is reflected in our, if we go to the slides, we can see an example of some of the best practices of what you should be including. We do have there the friendly hosts, because that is one of the things that we do tell our customers to do. Can you talk us through some of these key elements, I guess you could say, for creating your hero
For
image?
us, it's worked really well to put people on the cover photo, but also some unique offers. So actually telling what is this gonna happen, what's gonna happen, what's gonna be about. As you said, Caroline, it's important to tell what is the theme of the live, so that people know when they attend the live, they know what's gonna happen. They know if they're gonna buy shoes or it's actually gonna be coats and jackets. They have to know that before, because if they don't, they're probably not gonna buy anything. So you have to match their expectations before.
We've also got here down in the bottom, we've got like the event date and time. And this is actually something that it would seem unbelievable, but some people do forget to put it. So make sure you do include date and time, and the fact that you're going live. You can put your logo onto it. This is a great opportunity to sort of, as you were talking about before, your live shopping brand. So what does your live shopping brand look like?
Some people even have a live shopping logo.
Yeah, like a separate logo for the fact that it's all part of their live shopping brand. We even have here, I've got an example here from Baby Sam, who have basically followed our advice to a T with you've got the host there. For those of you who don't speak Danish, you can see on the left-hand side that you've got 20% off, like you can save 20%, and you've got the date there. But however, Morten did point out, and Karolina, you kind of touched on it before about the different formats. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
That's because this is still the most optimal cover photo you can create on Facebook. But what happens is when you go on a phone and actually see the cover photo, it will size down into a square. So that's also the reason why you, Caroline, is creating a different cover photo where all the essential info is in the middle. That's the reason why. It's still something Facebook is testing. So we're still waiting on a clear answer to, is they actually going to change it to a square format, or will they keep this format? But for some, it works way better to put all the important information in the middle.
But Caroline and William Wiz, they're already ahead of the game. They're already doing this, because we've got a couple of examples that you sent through, Carolina. We've got 3 examples, and you can see that they are following what you were talking about, that you should make sure all your information is in the middle. So you can see in the Valentine's Day live. Oh, maybe Carolina, you can talk us a little bit through what the theme or what was going on with the visual content of these 3 examples.
Yes. So the first one, as you said, was our Valentine's Live, which we held a month ago. And we tried out a new sort of style because of our live shoppings. So hopefully that style will stick. The second one was actually the one where we had like a empty, what's it called in English? Sorry?
The warehouse?
Yeah, the warehouse, empty the warehouse. And that was the one that had a event response on 1.5 Danish crowns. And that surprised us as well, because we believed at that point that we needed people to be in that picture to make it work, but that was actually the photo. And the third one is a story for our Halloween live shopping, so it fits in the theme of Halloween.
And I think these are great examples. What we've done with some of our clients, where we still stick to this other format where it's larger, is that we create a different visual, which is a square that we can actually use on ads and on posts, etc. So we just kind of change a bit around.
But there are so many tools now that can help with that. Like if one of the most popular ones is Canva, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this like have used or have seen stuff from Canva where you can just resize. So you can, it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. You make your visual, resize it to a square, and you've got something for every single device that someone might be viewing your event on. So that's Really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else about content? Because if not, we're going to move on to our final topic of the day, which is other ways to promote.
Yeah.
They were very varied, so we couldn't really put a title on them, just that they were other. Yeah. So what we're going to talk about now is what are some of the other tools or tips from Spree, from Let's Go Live, from Carolina that others can use to ensure the success of their live shopping event. The very first one that we're going to talk about is live reminders.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about what are they? How do they work? Why are they important?
Yeah, it's something we use every time we go live, and we use it in two different ways. The first one is when you've had the live, you can send a message to all the people who bought something or actually attended the live, asking, can we send you a message next time we go live? And most people actually say yes, because if they had a good time with the brand, they bought something or learned something, of course they want to see you next time you go live. The other thing we do is every time before the live, as part of the marketing strategy, we create a post through Spree. We create this post. It's a competition where to be part of this competition, you have to write a specific word. And when people write that specific word, we can trigger it in Spree so that they will get a notification saying, thank you for participating in this competition. Can we send you a message when we go live and find the winner?
And you can get a prize.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can sort of entice people to join your live reminder list by offering some really nice prize. That's a very cool idea.
If you participate in a competition where you can win a pair of shoes or something like that, then of course you want to get a notification when they actually find the winner.
Exactly.
So that's a super easy way to get people on the live reminder.
What about Wally and Wiz? Do they use live reminders?
Yes, we use them too, but we haven't customized them as Morten has said. But I think we're going to do that in the future now.
Yeah, that's a good idea, right?
Yeah, it's such a good idea.
Have you found success by using live reminders?
Yeah, it's actually quite hard for me to say because we always use them, so I don't know if we haven't sent them out beforehand whether or not people would participate.
Okay, so that's something we could find out though. So
yeah.
But generally people have had success with them.
Exactly. And the thing that's great with the live reminder is that we see it kind of like the newsletter, but it's on Messenger instead of in the email.
Yeah.
So it's the place where you actually text your friends on the phone. You have the notifications on. So when we send out the live reminder 10 minutes before, you get the notification.
Because it's such a used
you always check when you get a notification from Messenger. Is that my friend? No, it was Wally and Wiz going live.
Exactly.
I'm trying to see
exactly. So they are because of how commonly it is used, it works as a notification platform. Okay, let's look at our second other promotional tool, which is something which, okay, you might say it's a little bit old school, but bear with us. Morten's going to take us through in-store promotion. So, but we're talking old school. We're talking posters. We're talking little, what are those things called that you put next to the cash register? Those little things that are like in a plastic thing, like a frame next to the cash register. Talk us through them.
Yeah. So we've done that with a few clients. One of them is a customer called Kitchen Living Dining. They have a concept store in the middle of Copenhagen where people come in. Maybe they just look around, see what products they have, and walk out again. Maybe they've never been there. But just putting up these posters everywhere in the store is a great way to tell people that you're going live. Maybe put a QR code on so it's super easy to scan, and then just get into the event. We have another client called Gunbrid where we will also do it as well next time. It's just an easy way. It doesn't cost anything, but it's super easy to put right beside the cashier. And then
just like print off a little thing, put it there.
They'll ask when they pay, oh, what's that? Oh, we're going live. Of course, you've bought this. This is a great product. Tell about that. But actually, we're going to have so many good deals next week.
Which goes back to that question we got before about, do you have to have some sort of offer? And it's like, it does make it easier, because if someone buys a pair of shoes and then they say, what's that? Oh, we're going live tonight, where you can get 50% off all sneakers or whatever. So it does help. It does help a lot to have a theme. We are getting some more questions. Maybe, we're getting a question from Jens. How many customers can you have on a live reminder?
I don't actually know if there is a maximum. We have clients having up to 5,000. So
there you go.
I don't think there's a maximum.
Yeah. At Wally and Wiz, how many have you seen? What is the most that you've seen?
On our live shows or?
On your live shows?
800 people.
But you didn't know how much the live reminder, you don't have access to that information.
No, I haven't actually checked that. I could check that if you want to know it.
And the thing with the live reminder is that you're building it up every time. So every time you go live, you send that message afterwards. You create the competition before, so it's constantly building up. So maybe first time you use it, you have 200 people on the live reminder. Next time, 400, 800. Just builds up.
Yeah,
so that's the great thing with the live reminder.
We do also have one more question here, and I'm going to direct this again to you, Morten. Why don't brands do more live shopping, as it's clearly driving sales? Are there companies that don't want to sell things? Have you ever experienced this?
No.
Nope.
I'm asking myself the same question. Why aren't people just going live? It's a great way to kind of interact with your clients as a brand, show your products. I don't see it as a competitor to the web shop, because it's a way for people to interact with the customers, showcase the products in a different way. They're not just seeing a stock photo of the product. You're actually, maybe if it's a shirt, you're wearing the shirt so people can see it probably. It's just a great way to do it.
It shouldn't be seen as competition. No.
I see this competition to what you watch in the TV.
True.
Because it's it's fun.
Great. We're going to go on to our last little tip that we have, next little strategy, which is about reusing content. So by this, we are talking about, once you've done a live show, you have a bunch of footage that you can use to promote your next shows. So Morten, maybe, and I don't know, Caroline, I don't know if you have something to say, just chime in. But what we're talking about is when you go live, you create a video, you've got basically a recording of your live show that can be used to promote other live shows.
And that's super important to do, because you have, if you go live for half an hour, you have half an hour's content you can use. We have one client called Dog Coach. They've launched new product doing a live, then they cut it together in a 30-second video, and they use it as ads. It's a great way, because you already have all the footage.
You don't need to go out and create new footage. You've already got that footage.
We have another case with a client called Burns Cattell, where they do something funny every time, because the host, they tend to say one word every, like maybe 10, 15 times during the live.
They say the word
and
virkelig
then they cut that
a lot of times.
One of the times it was virkelig. And it's so fun to watch that they're just cutting virkelig into
and that's part of their brand now. They've created a live shopping brand.
And it's so fun for people to watch, and people actually figure out, oh, they're going live. So if you didn't know, but you saw that reel, you're thinking, oh, that's quite fun to watch. I want to see the next live.
I want to join in on that, exactly. Is this something that Wally and Wiz does?
Not as of now, but I think we're going to do it.
It's a good, it's like free content that you can just chop up and use it to make other content.
Yeah, true. It's such a good idea.
Fantastic. Let's move on then to, we're going to start wrapping up today. Let's look at our key takeaways. We have 5 key takeaways for you today. The first is, however boring it is very important, which is plan, plan, plan. Again, if you need ideas about making a content calendar, you can download our playbook where you've got like a template there. Use a variety of channels to promote. So find out what works best for you. Like Wally and Wiz, it was Instagram and Facebook. Maybe for other brands, it's emails. Maybe it's YouTube because you're more video-based. But find out what works for you and promote across those channels. Create a hero image. Always create a hero image. And I think what we've learned today from both you, Carolina, and Morten, you kind of back this up, about the different formats. Like, it's important to have your different formats depending on if someone's viewing on a mobile or on a desktop. Live reminders, activate them, use them. It's so important, and it's so easy to use. So why wouldn't you use live reminders?
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, it really is. And lastly, reuse and repurpose your live content. Don't make extra work for yourself. Use what you've already created to promote your next live shows. So those are today's key takeaways.
I just want to say, and remember to post in the event. It is the end destination. So when you have people in the event, remember to post in there, because you have to constantly remind people. So instead of doing it on Reels and stories where you're trying to find new people, remember also to notify the people who are actually already interested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And they've already shown interest.
Can I say something to that? And if you don't have any idea to what to post in the event, just post a guide on how to live shop so they know it beforehand. Of course, you have to say it on the shopping as well, but that's a free content idea for you.
That's absolutely a great idea. You can also link them to our YouTube videos where we have some explainer videos of how live shopping works. You could also link them to a video of your products, you know, being shown in if you have a product film. It's not hard to think of a way to boost the engagement inside the discussion of the Facebook post or the Facebook event, sorry. Yeah, great ideas. But we are going to wrap up now. After we spoke about the fact that we have this live shopping playbook. So what's going to happen after this is you will, if you've participated in today's webinar or if you've watched today's webinar, you can get the live shopping promotional playbook, which we'll be sending in an email. We'll also be sending out an email with today's webinar. So you guys will live on in the emails that we're going to send out, where you'll get today's slides as well. So you can have a little look at those. What we do ask though is that you do share this information, the slides, the webinar, the playbook, whatever, with someone who you think could benefit from this information about live shopping. So if you know someone who is either already doing live shopping, but they don't know how to promote, or someone who is thinking about live shopping, or someone who doesn't know what live shopping is, share it with them so they can learn a little bit about what we've been talking about today. But apart from that, I think that was all that I had to say. Morten, was there Carolina, any last comments? No? Do we have any more questions? I think we've covered everything as well. In that case, all that's left to say is thank you so much to both of you for your participation today. Thank you for your insights. They were very valuable.
Thank you very much. It was great to be part of the
Thank
series.
you. Yes.
I'm looking forward to see the last one.
Tune into our next bootcamp. Thank you, Carolina, for your participation as well and your insights from Wally and Wiz.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it was all our pleasure. And if you can't get enough of our webinars, please make sure to tune in for bootcamp number 5. I think we've got a slide with the, we have bootcamp number 5 coming up. So stay tuned for more webinar goodness from Spree.
People are almost experts now.
Yeah, you're getting so close to being an expert. So if you have stayed with us this entire bootcamp, thank you. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.